We start off with some breaking news. Severe storms across Germany have unleashed some of the worst floodings in decades. At least 6 people have died, including 2 firefighters who drowned. Up to 30 people are missing after heavy overnight downpours. The regions of North Rhine-Westphalia, Reinland-Palatinate, and Saarland have been worst affected. A dam near the city of Wuppertal has overflowed, and the authorities say it could break. Several houses have collapsed and dozens more structures are at risk. Residents have been evacuated from hundreds of homes, but many of those who stayed are now trapped by the floodwater.
It's a fight against the floods. The deluge took many residents in Western Germany by surprise. There was no water around 1:30, but within half an hour, it was like a big stream, completely flooded. All at once, the water started flowing in. It came from over there, it flowed in here, and in no time, it was up to my chest. Different parts of Germany were hit by the bad weather. In the western city of Düsseldorf, an entire housing estate with 350 apartments had to be evacuated. In the town of Altena, a firefighter was swept away by the water and drowned. In Jönstadt, close to the Czech border, a 53-year-old was caught in a flash flood. Rescue workers are still searching for him. The heavy rainfall was caused by warm and cooler air mixing. Such extreme weather can occur in summer, but it only happens rarely. The last time we saw this happen was in 2005, or before that in 1999, when some rivers flooded due to the sheer amount of rainfall. That is indeed exceptional. Hagen in western Germany was hit particularly hard. It was impossible to drive along some streets, even for the rescuers. This prompted us to request help from the army to get the situation here in Hagen under control. And luckily, it turned out very well. People all across Germany are hoping for the rain to relent soon.
For more on this, let's bring in DW's Nina Haase, who's been following the story for us. Nina, we understand that dozens of people are missing after houses collapse. What are you hearing?
The situation is very drastic in many areas of Western Germany, and that just goes to show the severity of the situation, that houses collapse, and in that area where they collapse, a large number of other houses are also unstable and at risk of collapse. The authorities have said, and many different areas here are affected, but the German rail service has warned passengers from other parts of the country not to travel to North Rhine-Westphalia at the moment, because Germany's most populous state is the worst affected because of the floods. The German rail service is urging people not to go there. And many people are talking about this situation as a disaster that happens only every few decades. Some say it's never happened to this extent, and there are reports of what's normally little streams of like 2 meters wide that are currently 200 meters wide, just so that you get an idea of the situation.
What can you report about the rescue efforts at this point? I can imagine that the conditions make it extremely difficult.
Of course, and we've heard already about those 2 firefighters who have died. One, as we heard in the report, was swept away by the water after trying to rescue a man. And many people this morning tried to find shelter in the upper floors of their houses waiting to be rescued. So, of course, the authorities have to get access to those people and provide them with food, or try and rescue everything that's valuable to them from their houses. And that, of course, is hindered by those severe floods. And thousands of people have had to be evacuated. Of course, there had been warnings, but people, like we heard in the report, weren't really expecting this extent of flooding. And so there are severe warnings by the authorities to refrain from what they call disaster tourism, so not to try and go somewhere, take pictures, because many people just haven't seen pictures like this in their lifetime.
I imagine that rescue workers are literally looking to the skies for help. Is an end to the rain in sight?
Well, the weather report from this morning says that we're still expecting some rain in many areas in those affected regions, but not to the same extent, luckily, as over the past couple of hours. And in some areas, the rain has stopped already, like, for example, in that area that was mentioned in Hagen, the rain has stopped. But that, of course, means that now the water has to be cleared away, the rubble has to be cleared away, the area has to be tidied up. And that is the case in Hagen, where, incidentally, the regional leader of the affected area, Armin Laschet, who's the Conservative candidate for Chancellor, has already arrived to assess the situation on the ground, and he will talk to the press later.
That's DW's Nina Haase. Many, many thanks, Nina.